Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the morning chat. Hi, you. It ain't a big old. All right, let's get in here. Let's start. Hey, y'all. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the morning chat where I tell you what's on my mind in the morning time, y'all. Yeah, girl is tired. Okay, I'm so tired. I didn't even wake up. Like I didn't. I'm tired. I did the morning chat. Child, I can't even speak. Glory be to God. Y'all work with me here. Um, I didn't do. I did my walk in the water. I got myself up out of the bed because wanted to go at an hour where there's people who, if there is anyone on that gym equipment at Home Park, okay, if there's anyone there, it's going to be someone who's seriously trying to work out. Okay, but I was tired, child. I I didn't go to sleep in that much later. I'm figuring maybe it's the iron levels that's low, y'all. This is actually my second cup of coffee. I actually took a quick nap before coming on here, child. So at any rate, I'm here though. Hey y'all, hey y'all, hey. So let's get into this morning chat. Doo, 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 doo. I don't even know what that sound is like because I don't have my headsets on, nor do I have the music out here. But y'all got a little something. So let's get into it. Get into it. Okay, y'all. As the title say, we're gonna get into this Ajike, Ajike Owens. I'm gonna call her by her nickname because I'm not sure it's Ajike or Ajike or Ajika. I'm not sure. We're gonna call her by either Miss Owens if you're nasty or AJ if you're friendly. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so we're gonna get into this morning test. Okay. Um. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. So we're gonna start with good morning announcements, y'all. Hey, cheers. Child, I didn't even text my good friend to let her know I was going on. Anyway, I'm gonna call and check on her later. Um, the morning announcements is bedtime stories, episode 15, where I reviewed chapters 20, 19, and 20. Okay, 19 and 20 of A Savage and His Lady. I'm almost done. I think it's 26 chapters of this book, but yeah, I got an email from the author. She said, "Oh, girl, there's a whole nother book. I think you might have gotten the wrong version." She just said she gonna get to the end and be like, "To be continued." Or it's like, wait a minute, I thought this was one book. Child, I gotta find that other book so that I can get into it. So at any rate, hey. But that is posted. Bedtime Stories episode 15 has been uploaded to according to Akara, bedtime stories, according to Akara podcast, bedtime stories. So go there and check that out. Unfortunately, unless I get a miracle to happen, I'm not going to be doing single and satisfied because I can't think of a topic to really talk about. And the guys that I wanted to ask to come on and give us opinions about relationships, love, relationships, what they believe they're looking for in a woman or stuff like that is not going to be available. I mean, I haven't reached out to them. I don't know if they're available or not. Um, I will put out an announcement if I happen to get to contact the person and see if they can do it this Sunday. That would be great. If not, I'm gonna have to wait until I can get an opportunity to have that person on the show with a couple of his friends. Okay, so no single and satisfied, no single and satisfied for this Sunday. So I'll come back when I have a topic that I really want to touch on, or someone that I can bring on to talk about single and satisfied. Now, if you are watching this and you have a topic that you want me to touch on and you want to come on my IG and we could talk about it, please put it in the DMs on Instagram or email according to Akara podcast at gmail.com. It will be in the description. It's in the descriptions on YouTube and it's on the descriptions here. If you have a topic that you want me to talk about, or you want to be on the show to talk about relationships, love, being single, being married, being in a polyamorous relationship, being in a kink community, you're part of the kink community or the BDSM community. Look, this is about all kinds of relationships. Single and satisfied is not just about being single. It is about all things relationships. It's a relationship show. We want to talk about it. Okay, how do you relate to people? Do you even want to get married? Are you married and don't want to be married? Okay, maybe you thought you was want to be married, and now that you're married, you were like, it might not be for me. Okay, or well, I believe in having, or I have a, what they call it, a dom, and I am the submissive. I think that's what they call in BDSM. I'm the submissive. That's the type of relationships I have. Or we have a polyamorous relationship. Open our minds about that possibility. Okay. So if you want to come on, please email me and I will have you on the show or put it in my DM. Okay. So boom, boom. Now let's get to the door that's trying to go. Doo-doo. The door that's trying to go. Doo-doo. Okay. So what really grinds my gears is the fact that DoorDash doesn't have a human to review these contract violations. Okay, I'm going to say it once and I'm going to say it again until y'all understands me. DoorDash is not a delivery company. It is a software company. If you're looking for DoorDash and the business that they're in, it will be software. Okay? So they're not set up for customer service. Okay? We are responsible for customer service. Now, what makes it frustrating is you could get kicked off the platform if you get too many contract violations. Okay. And if a customer is in their feelings about something because they're stupid, I said that. They don't real some a lot of people don't realize the actions that they do, how much it affects the people they're doing it against. or the people that's connected. So on Monday or Tuesday, whichever day that it rained, I think it was Tuesday, I was out dashing in the evening and I had a stacked order. This idiot, and I'm gonna call him what I said. I feel really curmudgeon today. I feel very confrontational today. Today, I want the smoke. It could be the fact that I'm fucking tired right now. Excuse the curse. But because he was stupid, okay. Now, listen to your auntie, please. Okay, you ready? Okay. Before you report something isn't done or your delivery isn't hasn't been delivered, okay, or make a decision, report that you never got your order, or report or call the driver and find out what's going on. Don't do both, okay? Because you're in your feelings. Maybe you was hungry that night, okay? Maybe you was hungry with your Burger King having ass. Okay, that's what he got. And he knew I was picking up his order because I had to call him from the restaurant to let him know, hey, they were out of Sprite. Do you want another drink? So bitch, you know I was on my way. And I had your food. Okay. So there was a glitch, or maybe it was user error. It could have possibly been user error. I It was a stacked order. So I was delivering to one place and then around the corner this he was on the other. So once I had finished delivering at one spot, I clicked delivered. Okay. Or delivery complete. And I went to go to the next order and it wasn't there. So maybe I could have clicked it twice, or it could be that it was a glitch, especially when it rains. My phones, and I have two different phones, and it happens with both phones. I had it on one Samsung and I had it on another Samsung, right? Um, and it always kind of gets a little funky doing when it rains. So I don't know if it glitched or I accidentally pressed it twice. I don't know. But let's say I accidentally pressed it twice. I was in the process of calling DoorDash support to inform them of the issue that I had when I received the call from the idiot customer. Okay, and I'm gonna call him an idiot because you're gonna find out. So I called. I mean, I picked up the call. I'm like, hey. He said it says that it was delivered, but you haven't. I said yes. I apologize. I think the app glitched, or I accidentally clicked the I said exactly what I said to Freeman. I either accidentally clicked it or it glitched. I don't know. It acts this way whenever it rains. Okay. And I can't you can't say it was just T-Mobile because I now have Xfinity Mobile, which is the company is Verizon. So I'm just saying it's not the company. Maybe because the lightning, thunder, whatever gets in the way of the satellites. I don't know, chat. Okay, but it did. It could be a Samsung thing because I do have two Samsung. I am a Samsung chat, and I said yes. I apologize. Can you confirm your address again so that I can bring it on your way because I have your food and I'm on my way. Okay, and so he texts me not his address but the name of his apartment complex. So I had to go and look it up, and come to find out it was literally around the corner. Okay. So he's probably thinking I'm delivering to another. I delivered to the wrong address. Now this is where I need you to understand. Okay. Because now I've ordered through DoorDash. I've gotten a delivery through DoorDash. I'm gonna say this very clear. Put the mic up to my mouth so you can hear me. If you do standard delivery, your order can be stacked with another person's order. That is equivalent of a pool ride with Uber or Lyft. Mm? Okay, so that means if you want your food to come straight to you, you're gonna have to pay that extra $3 for it to be expressed. Okay, but so that you don't pay $6 in delivery fees, you order standard. Okay, and sometimes the person that I'm delivering to before you, mm, is literally either in the same building, around the corner from you, okay, or not far from you. Sometimes I've experienced where the restaurant that I'm picking up for is in the same building as your order. But but DoorDash gave me to pick up from the restaurant first and not deliver to you first. Okay? So just because I'm in your neighborhood, okay, because I've gotten people call me like it was telling you, why are you on that street? Because I have another freaking order. That's not what I wanted to say. I had another freaking order. Guess what? You paid for standard delivery, which means you can get stacked with another person. So I might be on this other street because I'm delivering to someone else first per DoorDash. Okay, this is the way it came into my. This is the way it came to me. Okay, B. Okay. If you want it coming straight to you, pay for that express so it can come straight to you. Period. Okay. Stop calling your DoorDash drivers like, well, you're around the corner and blah 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 blah. Dad, you're going to the wrong address. I'm going to the correct address for the order that I'm dropping off right now. And I believe that's what happened with this idiot Burger King eating ass. Okay. So he calls. I tell him what happened. I get the ad. He thought I wasn't going to. What he thought is because he just gives me the name of the apartment complex that I wasn't going to find it, and then I delivered it. Okay, but this ass hat, okay, this dirty diaper Negro, and it wasn't a black person, by the way. Not only does he call me, then gives me just the apartment name of the complex like I wasn't going to find it because I did. He thought he was going to get free food and his money back. Okay, this is another thing. This is another tip to y'all. When y'all call, y'all don't get your money back. Let your DoorDash driver call. If there's an issue with your order, let the DoorDash driver call. They'll more likely give you your money back if we say this is the issue, this is what happened, okay, and then they'll call you and they're going to ask you what you want to do. If you want to cancel the order, you'll get your money back. But if you call in and say, da, 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 all you're doing is causing problems for us as the driver, okay? period. Okay. And then another person that is not as nice as me is going to report that they feel unsafe there. They're going to report you as being an unsafe customer. And I could do that. I can call and say, hey, I feel really unsafe. I mean, I was able to do it, but they were rude. They were this, they were that. So next time when people pick up from you or to deliver to you, you know what I'm saying? We gonna question. And if you keep on getting reports that you a problem, DoorDash is gonna probably take you off. Like you can't order through us. Go somewhere else. Let somebody else do it. Okay. Now, but don't do both. Okay. So this and then after I delivered it successfully, this dum dum reported that he never got his food. He reported that he never got his food, which is a whole lie. Okay. Now, what I am dragging DoorDash for is if that was a person that received that call, or if he put because he probably just put in the dash, I never got my food. Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you, the man called me like as soon as I dropped off and clicked that I delivered this person's food. Okay, immediately I didn't even get out I couldn't even dial DoorDash support to find out what happened to the order. I was in the prep and I was just about to say what happened to this order. Okay, but the Negro, well, now let me start not calling him a Negro. He wasn't. This Caucasian, what do you call a male camp? Quran, Ken, Ken. This okay, Ken. I'll call him Ken. This Caucasian Ken still reports that he never got his food when he did. Literally a minute after he called me. The longest it took was him coming downstairs and getting the food. Then there was another report. Now I believe this was DoorDash. FYI, if you do something wrong, you take too long. Sometimes it's not the customer reporting it. It's DoorDash AI seeing that you violated, and they'll put a contract violation, and then you have to go in and explain yourself. And meanwhile, I have two contract violations connected to this person because now it's like, oh, you didn't do this step and you didn't do that step. Well, I didn't get to do that step. The app never prompted me to do those steps because the order was gone when I went back to deliver it. Number one, it says contactless delivery. Houseway, when the dude said that I'll meet you downstairs. Okay, so DoorDash, before you submitted that, maybe you should have a human being read the instructions that the customer gave me where he said he will meet me downstairs, but he want contactless delivery. And being that it's a software company, okay, maybe I mean, and the reason they do that is so they don't have to hire anybody. They do. They probably have contractors, and they're outsourcing clearly to India. Peace to my Indian people. I'm glad we were able to provide you some type of employment. Okay, I don't have nothing against the Indians being outsourced. Not at all. Okay, but no one's looking at this. No one said, "Oh, I see," because even if you call customer service or the Dasher support, as far as like if that would have happened and they found that, they could have contacted the person and say, "Hey, do you still want her to deliver the food, or do you want to cancel this order?" See, if he'd have let me do that, he could have gotten his money back. Okay, But now, and even if he did get his money back, they might have snatched it. They might be snatching that back, or they might concede that that's whatever. I don't know what that, because I don't have any. I haven't had any problem with DoorDash delivery, aside from the one time that I did do it, just to say I want to be the. I want to see what I do. The person did not follow my instructions, and he turned right, just like his GPS said him. And instead of going to the first left, he would have had a whole. I mean, and he's like, I just see A and D. I don't see G. Like, there's a whole complex past that gate. Did you even drive? Did you read the instructions? Did you read? But then eventually called me, and but he called, he got the instructions, and he came here, and it was all good, like a good dasher should. So, of course, I don't recall giving him a rate, but I did give him an extra tip, because you can tip after delivery. So I did give him an extra tip. DoorDash, you better not have taken that from that young man. Okay, but he still reported that, and then DoorDash, I'm dragging them for, it's like, if a human would have read that, or if your software, you change the software, you update the software to not allow them to put anything, if they're going to say contactless delivery, they can't put in the description, and you can program the software so that you can't put pick up, come down stairs, get it from you, certain things that indicate that they are actually making contact. Okay, that's the same thing. That's another thing that grinds my gear. Don't put leave it at my door, but in the instructor says pull into the garage and I'll meet you downstairs. Okay, you know, miss me. I actually at first I was like, and don't put hand it to me, and then I have to come all the way upstairs. But see, that's different. Okay, because some people live in communities where you can't leave it at their door because someone will take it, or they want to assure that you're giving the food to the right person. Because sometimes, cause there was one time, and thank God, the person was so sweet. He was so sweet, and he gave me an extra tip. I put it at the wrong door of this building, and he was coming out as I was leaving. He was coming back in, because you know what I'm saying. He was gonna pick it up, but I was like, I think that he said, "You just, yeah, I just left it at the door." I said, "I think I might have left it at the wrong door." And he's like, "Oh, don't worry about it. No, you left it at the right door, whatever the situation is." And I texted him and said, "Did I leave it at the wrong door?" He said, "You did, but I got it. There's no problem." And he still gave me an extra tip. Those type of customers, that was grace. That was pure grace. He could have said that I really messed up. He could have done like he didn't get the right food. He could have done that. Thank you, brother. He was a brother. But this Caucasian king deserves to choke on his whopper. Okay. I hope he didn't sleep well that night. I don't want nothing bad to happen to him. Just choke, not die. just, I just want him to cough a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I want him to toss and turn that night. Okay. I want that whopper to have messed up his stomach for being such a. And I didn't notice the contract violation until the next day, of course, yesterday. And this is after I went out already. And I was wondering, like, why does it seem like I'm not getting no orders? Let me check my ratings. Am I below somewhere? Am I like 91 on its completion? Or am I thought I was only like 80% and accepted. I mean, I'm still top dasher. And that's when I saw those contract violations. Like, and then I knew exactly who it is. All my contract violations, I always know who it is. Trust me, I'm an intuitive. I'm not. It's not because I traced you back. I don't do all that stuff. I know exactly who it is because I'm intuitive. The spirit walks with me, and I walk in the spirit. Duh. And yes, I could go back there and wait for that dude to come out and wait till the Holy Spirit. That's the one. But the Holy Spirit wouldn't do that. She wouldn't even support that. But that really grinds my gears, you know. Um, but I did have an opportunity. They asked me, so thank you for being a driver. How did you feel? What's your opinion? It's probably because there's a couple of times that I've called DoorDash support, just not to fuss at the support person, but because I know it's a recorded line and I want to speak my piece. So someone hears it, maybe someone and hire up somebody in tech support can correct the issue. So I probably got that. Oh, can you give us a what do you call a survey of how you're doing? And I sure enough went in on what they could change as they can before you issue a contract violation. DoorDash software company, let a human read it. Maybe you should say there's a contract violation pending. Let's hear your side of it and let's investigate the situation. You know what I'm saying? Before you put that on someone's, there's a pending this, email me or something. Well, now I think I like it because it's in there, but it's not like I get a notification that says you got a contract, you know, like when they trying to get me out here when nobody's really driving because there's really not that it's not that busy out there, but they want you to be out there. Okay. Do that notification too. I should have said that too. Give me a notification, a text message that there is a pending contract violation. Don't let me have to just go there. I had to go to my ratings and find out that I had a contract violation. Just because I'm that type of person, I be checking my ratings, my earnings all the time. I'll be checking how much I'm making, I'll be checking all the stats. Okay. So because I from experience know that there's a difference in the orders you get depending on what your ratings are. Okay. And this is my income. This is my sole income right now. Okay. But because this little asshat Caucasian Ken was in his feelings that night, maybe he was hungry. Okay. Or maybe he just I don't know what crawled up his behind, okay, and made him feel a certain type of way, okay? But don't call me and then report me. Do one or the other. You little. I hope you choke. I hope every other delivery he has a real problem. Like really, he orders something and they say they deliver it and they don't deliver it and they eat his food. That's what I want. I want him to have a real problem, and I want a Karen to do it. Okay, a Caucasian Karen to do it. Let his fellow people do that ish to him. Okay, and now I can want that, but it probably won't happen. But Karma, though, she's a whole female dog out in these streets. Okay, and she don't give you what you gave out. No, no. Karma, she multiplies it and then hit you in the face with it to the point that you're like, what is this happening to me? Remember that auntie that you reported and called and you got your food, but you said you never got it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, her. I hope my face comes up. I hope my car comes up. I hope he gets that remembrance like, oh, that's what I did. Yeah, that's what you did. Okay. I understand that's why some people don't tip and I take their order because in the past when I've done Postman, I didn't tip. I just like you gonna have to take that delivery fee. It's hit me in the head right now. Okay, so no tip for you. Just bring it here. So I was unwise in that factor. And I'm paying for it. And sometimes you get people that don't tip. I get orders that don't tip. Okay, so that's all I have for you for DoorDash Chronicles. Okay, now, child, let's get into the short chat, the short chat, the short chat, short chat. Okay, so I want to quickly. I took this subject from. Here's the thing. Okay, I didn't look it up. It's the short chat. So I'll explain to you the short chat. The short chat is topic that I just want to touch on, but I haven't done any investigation or whatever. I just heard about it and I have an opinion. So there was on. Here's the thing with Kev on stage and that chick Angel. Um, they had a TikTok story where this woman, and I, from what they said, she was Latino, okay, but she was the white Latino. She wasn't even dark. She was passing as white, but she was Latino. But so she was the white Latino, not the black Latinos. Okay, there's a difference. Okay, she wasn't even Mexican Latino. She was white. She was probably Puerto Rican white. And it's like Puerto Rican. You think? Not Fat Joe. Okay, and then if and another, if he did not choose hip hop, he could be passing. J Lo, she's Puerto Rican. She's passing as white. Okay, so anyway, if this Karen was this person, this woman, not Karen. I won't call her Karen. Um, this Mama Sita. No, no. She was white, looking like J Lo type of Latina. Okay, is that better? All right. So or Eva Longoria. I think was the that's not the person I'm thinking about though. But even moving on, and she had her child at a park, you know, and at the park that they were at, there was a kid's birthday party that was going on. Okay, so I guess her daughter, as she watched her daughter play on the playground, the other kids are playing on the playground. She's playing with the other kids. She's probably in the bouncy house with the other kids, and whatever. She's playing all the kids, playing with the kids. She's making friends, and she's be participating in the birthday party. She don't know these people from Adam, and the mother clearly had been watching her daughter do this, and she's like, "Oh, she's making friends. It's so nice." Blah blah blah, you know. But I mean, so it came to the part where it's time to cut the cake, to serve the cake, and they didn't sing happy birthday, and the daughter of the said Latino woman, Latina, okay, has a plate wanting some cake. Now, mind you, the little girl has been playing with the kids. She's not a part of the party. She's not. She just made them as friends, right? And so the mother said claims that at that point she went over to see if it was okay, for her to also partake in the cake. And the person, I'm assuming the mother of the child whose birthday they're celebrating, took the plate from the little girl and bent down to her level and said, "You can't have cake. This is not your cake. This is not your party. These kids are not your friends." Okay. Now, by the way, at the beginning of this story, the Latina mother says, and I'm assuming the little girl is because I'm good. I'm have not done any research. I haven't seen the video. Um, I'm assuming the little girl was Latina as well, white passing Latina. Okay, and she said, "I don't know. Maybe I'm privileged. Maybe I feel privileged or not. Am I being not privileged? Am I being It's not privileged, but it's something in that aspect. maybe I'm asking too much, but I feel like that was wrong. And both that chick Angel and Kevin on stage pretty much said how I felt about that. Um, I like the way that chick Angel said, like I would have, as soon as she was playing with the kids that was a part of the party, I'd have been like, whose little girl is this? Whose little girl? Because she's right. Birthday parties for kids, if you had a bouncy house, all that stuff out there, like I didn't pay for this little girl to be over here. Okay? But she let it slide. Okay? I would have been asking as the parent of the one throwing the party, whose little kid is this? Okay? Because more likely than not, I have enough for the kids that's here. Okay. Oh, let me add the fact that there was plenty cake left over. And usually at birthday parties like that, there's plenty cake left over. Okay. So they could have given her the piece of cake. Um, but I'd have been like, you you can't even be playing on the bouncy house like that. Or it would be either or. I would have tried to find out whose parent is this. Where's your parent? Where's your mother? Okay, because if something happened to that kid and she's at my party, I could be in trouble for that. I don't think anybody considered it because neither one of them said that. Not that you can't, Asia or Kevin never said that. But if something happened to that kid and she's playing with our kid, you know what I'm saying? Who's the mother? Who's leaving their kid to just play with any kid? If something happened to that kid, I would be in trouble. You know what I'm saying? That mother probably wanted to sue me and all kinds of stuff. No, who's this kid right now? I learned that not because it happened to me, but something it happened where my son had a young man that stayed in my house, right? That I guess he was running away or whatever, and I didn't trip as I let him stay there. The friend of mine said, "No, you should never do that again. Don't do that again. You get his number of his parents and let them know where he is or something like that. Because if something happened to that young man, you're going to be responsible because it happened in your home." And that's true. So the same thing here. I'd have definitely found out who it was so that they can come and get their child. Not because I don't want them to participate, okay, okay, but because I don't want you thinking that I did something to your kid, okay. You need to at least come to me and ask if she can play with your kid, okay. Number one. Number two, I don't think I wouldn't if I was the parent and I've allowed this child to come and play with the kids, and it's not like a whole bunch of kids; it's just one little girl. Um, I would have never been down and told that little girl that. I would have just let her have the cake. If anything, if I was going to say anything to anyone, I would have said something to the mother. It's like you just let your kids just play with my kids and everything. I didn't see you come over until she started wanting some cake. Okay, I feverishly, I would have said something to the mother. Okay. I would have said something to the mother. The little kid, I would have never been down to that little kid. I would have never done that to her. I would not have never taken that cake from her. I would have let her have the cake and let her continue having fun. If I had any words, the words would be to the mother. Okay? Now, on the flip side, as the mother of the child, if it were me, I love the what Kevin said and what that chick Angel said, what Angel said, and what Kevin said. They said as the mother on the other side, as my child is playing with your kids, I would have went over there and said, "Hey, I see that my son or my daughter or my child is playing with you, and they're getting it about. Is it okay for them to participate in this or whatever?" So on and so forth. I would have asked first. Number one. Number two, I'd have told my child, and I agree. No, that's not your party. Those are not your friends. Number one. And depending on how it went, if like I turned my back and I was doing something and I could see my kids, like if they were on the playground and she was making friends and da 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 da, and the little kids, at least back in my day, said, "Can she come? Let me ask my mom if I can go and play with you at your party." First of all, the kids should be coming to you to me and asking me. You just don't run off with anybody. First of all, okay. Did the little girl even ask her mom, "Can I go play over there in the bouncy house with them or whatever?" And I'm assuming it was a bouncy house, whatever, right? But if they were just on the jungle gym in the at the park playground, then I wouldn't have said anything. But if she would have went over to the bouncy house and went over to play games and stuff in the party, definitely I was like, "Girl, where you going? But those are my new friends. I want to go play with them. They say they have a bouncy house. They invited me over there. Let me make sure it's okay with the mother or whoever's, I would introduce myself. This is my daughter. She's made friends with your children and the children of this party. Do you mind if she plays with them and goes, enjoy the bouncy house?" If the parents say, "Oh, I can't because I don't have insurance for her," or whatever the situation, I don't understand. I said, "Unfortunately, you can't. It's just certain things, And if the mother would have flipping back over, if the mother would have came to me and got approval for her child to play with me, she would have been a part of the whole thing. Okay. I think the woman that bent down, it was really kind of like, since your mama ain't gonna tell you the truth, let me bend down and let me talk to you, child, woman to child. This ain't your part. Those aren't your friends. They're not. Okay. And then real talk, they really weren't her friends because they would have asked. They should have asked their mother, "Can she come over too?" Okay, because that's what we used to do back in the day. We met a new friend and we're doing something. It's like, "Mom, I met a new friend. Can this type of person come with me?" Hello, that part. Okay, just like even with the young man that was running away and he was staying at my place, my son asked me if he could stay for a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? So whatever. So I, on the other end, I would have asked first. Number two, um, I would not have even had my daughter get a plate. She would never gotten to that point. And the point that Angel and Kevin made is, I don't know where this cake was made. Okay, I don't know what it's made of. My child could be allergic to whatever this cake is made of. I personally think, my opinion, I think the mom saw that she was having fun, okay, and she was hoping that that family was going to feed her kids fat, okay. I think that the mother of the child was holding the birthday party was dead wrong for stooping, taking the plate from it and stooping down and talking to the kid and not the mother. So there was wrongs on both sides of it. Uh, entitled. That's what I don't know. Maybe I was entitled. That's what the Latina mom said in the video. I don't know if I'm in that acting entitled or you are acting entitled. You sat there and watched your child play on the bouncy house and all that stuff with them kids. Okay, and even if you were going to allow that, when they started passing out food, I'd have snatched my kid like, "Nah, I don't even know what this is made of. I don't know if she peed in this cake mix or whatever. I don't know what this is made of. I don't know if they let their cats jump on their counters and pussyfoot across the cake in their utensils. I don't know how clean their house is. Where'd you get this from? Where'd you get this cake from? Okay, if you had it made, who made this cake? Oh, you got it from there. Oh, They don't make cake. If you said you got this birthday cake from Lidl, Lidl's don't make birthday cake. Use a lot. What you mean you got the mix from Lidl? Even more is the reason why you can't have none of that damn cake. Okay. Costco. Let me see. Let me see the container. Let me see that came from a replicable cake place. Okay. First of all, you don't just eat anybody's food. You don't just eat anybody's food. That has been my lesson to my. You don't eat. You don't just eat anybody's food. It's fine. You play with them and everything. Thank you for allowing my child to play. But Lisa. Listen, Lisa. Listen, Linda. Listen, Linda. You don't eat every we is Latino. We are Latinas. We don't eat everybody's food. But maybe Latinos different. Maybe the Caucasian Latinos do. We don't just eat anybody's food. Even if we're broke as a joke, we just don't eat everybody's food. Okay, the second short chat I want to talk about is I want to briefly touch on this DoorDash lawsuit where the plaintiff is stating that DoorDash charges more for Apple phone users, or iPhone users, than they do an Android user. And my opinion about that is just pay it, Apple. Aren't y'all rich? Aren't us all us Android users broke boys? What's your complaint? You stand in line for days and hours to get the new iPhone that is the same as the last one. And you complaining that you're paying more? You're paying more for a smartphone. So why are you complaining that you're paying more in DoorDash? You pay more for a smartphone and it does the same damn thing as any other smartphone. Okay, now you want to complain because you're getting charged more with DoorDash? I hope they don't get their money. And I got, it was another content creator on YouTube, can't remember the young man's name, but he was like, I hope they get their own money because this is DoorDash is done. No, no, I hope they lose. I hope they lose. And it's all stemming from the Android iPhone battle. That is stupid. We all have a smart god daggone phone. Okay. Now, if you're gonna shame me for having Android, pay more. Pay more then. Damn. How this could affect DoorDash, it may be a bunch of iPhone users that go to um Uber Eats or Postmates, which is the same thing. But I promise you, if DoorDash is doing it, so is Uber Eats. There's a reason why they charge you more. They're not just charging you more because you have an iPhone. It's probably something with the programming connected to DoorDash and iPhone. Maybe, honestly, maybe DoorDash is made for Android users and not, you know what I'm saying? And, if anything, if that's the fact, then all of us Android users go into, what was it? What was that social media where it was just all voices? I can't remember. And you could not get it on Android at all. Okay. Matter of fact, most social media accounts started with with iPhone. And when Androids don't get use of it until several months later. Okay. Because they cater to the one that has more promotion. And iPhone got more promotion. That's all. That's the only difference. I think the whole Android, iPhone users tend to feel like they're superior to others. So take your superior ass deep in your pocket and just pay that extra fee. Unless you want to perceive that you're just a smartphone haver, yours just happen to be I. And mine's happen to be Samsung. And someone else's might be Motorola. And someone else's might be Nokia if they're still in business. You know what I'm saying? Smartphone is a fucking smartphone. Sorry. I'm trying not to cuss as much, or at least not do the strong ones with the F word and the B word. I'm gonna say ass because that could be cuss, or I could be talking about so. Anyway, so miss me with tattoo tears. I'm crying. Not even tattoo tears. No tears. It's a dry cry. Cry me a river, and iPhone users pay the extra fee. Pay the extra fee. I hope that if you go to Uber Eats or Postmate, y'all pay more over there too. Okay? Period. I have no sympathy for iPhone users, especially the ones that feel like they're superior. Now, there are some iPhone users that they specifically got it for their craft because Apple is known for being very good for entertainment and videos and stuff like that. Okay? Their cameras have been on point, the graphics and being able to do that different. There's some people like I do it because that's what the industry accepts, and I need that for auditions and this and that and the third. I get it in that case. Okay. But there's some people that just feel like they much better because they got an iPhone. And for those people, I said, come over here to Android. You tired of paying more money in DoorDash? You tired of getting the same phone and paying more like it was a new phone technology every year, and they're shutting down the operation system of the current phone so that you'll go and buy another phone? Come on over here to Android. That's all I got to say about that. All right. Now for the 15 minutes, the funk ain't no junk. Now I went way past the time that I intended on doing this. I really only wanted to do 45 minutes, but hey. Now I want to talk about this. I'm gonna call her AJ because I'm not sure how to say her birth name. If it was a dyke or a geek or a Ajika or how you doing it. I didn't see an accent over the E, but it's spelled Ajike, and the nickname is AJ. So, so AJ Owens and this Susan Lorenz, Lorenz, Loritz, whatever her Karen playing like she's scared, and she should have been scared. So, just let me give you a brief synopsis of the story from what I read on CBSNews.com. Okay, Miss Susan Rennick, Lorenick, I think that's how you say her last name, 58, had an issue with Miss AJ Owens' children playing in an area that was close to her apartment. Now, mind you, this is all done in an apartment complex. Okay, and she started arguing with Owens' children. Okay, even to the point of throwing a skate at the kids. She's fussing with children. Okay. Um, the 10-year old. Well, yeah, the one of Owen's kids is 10 years old. That's the one that she threw the skate at. And then the 10 and 12-year old went to talk to the lady. Like, why'd you do that? I don't know if that's what they said, but allegedly they went to talk to her on, I mean, basically, why you throw a skate at my 10-year old brother or sister? And the woman opened the door and swung an umbrella at kids. She's scared of kids. Is that what Miss Susan is scared of kids for? That's what she's doing. She's throwing a skate at a kid, and when they go to talk to her, she opens the door and swings an umbrella at him, like she's trying to harm little kids. Once Miss AJ found out what was going on, because then the 10-year-old and the 12-year-old went back to tell her their mom, this is what happened. This lady who's always fussing at us, she actually threw a skate at us. And we tried to go over and say, like, what's going on? What's the problem? And then she came out and tried to hit us with an umbrella. So once the mama came over, a black mama, she went there, boom, 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 boom. Come out. Come outside. Come outside. You want to throw skates and you want to argue with kids? Now I'm here. Okay? She bangs on her door demanding Miss Susan come out of her apartment and talk to her, argue with me, throw a skate at me. Okay? Cuss me out and call me derogatory names. Okay? Now, mind you, this has been ongoing for the last 2 years. This is ongoing for the last 2 years. This feud between Susan and AJ about this kids playing clearly in an area that apparently the apartment complex hasn't said nothing. I don't know, allegedly in an area. And after banging on the door a couple of times, Miss Susan doesn't say anything. All you hear next is kapoom, tat 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 tat. Okay, and Miss AJ got hit by the bullet of the gun that Miss Susan had. Okay, with her 12, 11 or 12-year-old, because one point they said 12-year-old, maybe she had a 10, 11, and a 12-year-old, with the 11-year-old standing right next to her. That could have hit that kid. Okay, okay, it could have hit the kid. But even worse, they got to see their mother be shot by this old witch of a woman. She was a witch. Okay. Now, according to the sheriff, Billy Woods, he said this is definitely not a stand your ground situation. Okay. This is a classic case of just murder. This is the sheriff of this county. And I believe where did they live? They lived in Rolling Hills, Florida. It's not far from Ocala County, Ocala, Florida. Now I know how to say Ocala because my parents are from Florida. Okay, my mom and my biological is from Florida. Okay, my biological don't claim Florida, but he was raised most of his life. And I remember my mom telling me stories of different Alachua and Ocala and so and so, such Native American names, Native indigenous people names of these places so often. Um, but he saw his mom get hurt and act like she shot my mom. She shot my mom. Okay. Word allegedly, allegedly. Susan was trying to pack up her stuff so that she can leave because she knew she did something wrong. She knew she was wrong. And they arrested her on manslaughter. A lot of the black community is calling for a harsher sentencing or a harsher charge than manslaughter. The problem with that, they have to prove that she had premeditated to do this. Now they can possibly have it up to maybe a second degree murder or third degree murder if they can prove that she was doing possible. Now I'm not an attorney, a judge, but I have worked in the legal industry in personal injury and litigation law enough to say depends on how Trump is now involved. Attorney Trump is now involved. Okay, they could swing it to a harsher punishment. The manslaughter can serve up to 30 years in prison. Now, again, with first degree murder, people will call it for first degree murder. I, again, you have to prove that she planned to do this, and it doesn't seem like she was planned. She didn't plan to do it, you know, unless you call while she's banging on the door. She goes to her get her gun and to shoot it, and she knew she was coming. Unless the kid's out, I'm going to get my mom. This is an ongoing 2-year feud. And if they can say, well, this is something that they've been going back and forth for the last 2 years, okay, it could be considered possible more than manslaughter because this woman could have, I said, next time she comes to my door, I'm shooting it. I'm shooting her through the door. I'm not even answering the door. They have to prove that that's what she planned on doing next time Miss AJ come knocking at her door. Okay. But this was not, or you can say that she had enough time to make a decision because Miss AJ wasn't on top of her beating her butt and she happened to reach down into it and got her little 45 and pew, pew, and everybody going down. Okay. She wasn't running from her. She was on the other side of the door. You said, oh, she was trying to break down my door. No, she wasn't. But what you did to her kids, I would expect her to try to break down my door too. If I cussed out her kids, well, allegedly, fussed out. This is what, according to CBS News, if she would have words for the kids that was playing near her apartment. Now, the other thing that she could be added, because they said that she was arrested on manslaughter and other charges, probably some type of reckless use of a firearm in an apartment complex. Because if she missed AJ, it could have struck someone else. It could have struck her little boy. I think it was the boy that was standing next to her. You know what I'm saying? When she got shot. Okay. It could have, if it missed both of them, it could have went through that door and hit somebody else who was just sitting in their living room chilling. So it's definitely reckless use of a firearm. Okay. I do agree. Let's send a message. Okay. That she needs to do every day, unless they can. And I really hope Trump and them, I pray right now in the name of Jesus, have a way to prove that she planned to do that so that she can get more than manslaughter. Okay. Okay. Now, if you've had this 2-year ongoing feud with Miss AJ, you already know how she's gonna come at you. This ain't new. Her banging on your door ain't new. So this is a feud. They've been feuding over these kids playing by her apartment for 2 damn years. And today you were scared. You ain't scared to leave your apartment because I'm just gonna tell you from my point of view. If someone threw something at my child, okay, and personally, what I would think. My personal, I'd been like, Nate, you stay in the house. Let's stay in the house, or I'd be trying to find somewhere else to live. It's an apartment complex. Let me get the fuck out of here. Y'all tripping. Okay. But if it's a situation she ain't have no other choice and nowhere else to go, then I get it. But I would see, I can understand her wanting to, like you almost hit my kid, and you a whole grown woman. What the is your problem? You want to do something, you want to have something to be, you have it with me. If you have a problem with my children, you come to me. Don't you talk to my kids in any type of way, okay? Or if they're violating, they're doing something wrong, call the leasing officer and say that or whatever. But you don't sit up there and throw something at my children and call them out their name or whatever you did, okay? And expect me not to do anything. Bitch, you should be scared to leave your house. Especially now, that is more my style. I mean, blame it on my Gemini rising. But my style is I'm gonna wait for you to come out. I'm not gonna bang on your door. I'm like, Jimmy, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, y'all go in the house. Play the PlayStation. And I wouldn't have done nothing. I'd have just sat there and wait for her ass to come out the house. Then I'd have whooped her. Okay? I'd have whooped her ass. As soon as she stepped out and locked her door. It'd have been, okay? No guns. She couldn't have gone and get no gun. I don't whoop her ass. Because she's gonna want to go out and go to the grocery store or something. Okay? Or the other way is if she didn't leave because we got a delivery services. I work for one. Okay. As soon as they leave that and she opens her door, I don't boop, 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 boop. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. Now, the legal way of doing it, I would have complained to the leasing office. That's the non-violent way to deal with it is I would have complained to the leasing office and I sure enough would have reported her to the police. Now they might not have done nothing to White Karen, okay, but it will be on the report that I reported this woman several times and the police didn't do ish. Okay, I reported to the leasing office about how she's been doing to my kids, and they didn't do nothing. Okay, but I would have definitely been reporting it. You should be scared of me. Because what would you do if someone came at your kid for being a kid? I mean, like, if you watch my Walk in the Water, I had an issue with the kids playing on the gym equipment at the park, but I didn't say nothing to them kids. I don't say nothing to kids. They were black kids too. You know what I'm saying? Look, we know don't mess with nobody's kids unless they hurt themselves or you know what I'm saying. I wasn't gonna say nothing to them kids. It was annoying. It was annoying, and she knew. It's not like the kids just came from the house and started playing over there. Okay, and they had no other options of something to play on. They did, and the mother knew it because she was there at the park. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't say nothing to the mother, and I ain't say nothing to them. Okay, but if something happened to them kids, and they want to know what happened, call Akara Hatcher. Okay, please come to me. Now I ain't gonna run and tell nobody about what's going on, but please, please, I'll snitch me. Please, I'll snitch. Yeah, them kids been playing back there all the time. Okay, and I've been trying to get. You know what I'm saying? They've been playing back there. It's dangerous back there. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Now that they hurt themselves, the mom knows they play out there. I reported it to if I was like White Susan, I'd have reported it to the leasing office. Get her kicked out. But I promise you, it probably wasn't nothing to get kicked out of that apartment complex. Not even with her white privilege. Her white privilege didn't allow her to do that because she couldn't. She had nothing to say. She couldn't say that it was doing anything. Allegedly, I don't know. Allegedly, but yeah, I would say even if they did, yeah, she should have been scared of me. She threw a skate at my child. She argued with my child. She tried to hit my child with an umbrella when they wanted to approach her and ask her what's going on. What's the problem? You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, she should have been scared. Why, Karen? You should have been scared because you know you did something that is worth retaliation. That if it was your child out there and some woman, no matter what the race, threw a skate at my kids and then tried to hit them with an umbrella when they tried to approach you like a fucking adult. Yes, you should be scared of me. You should. You should be scared of any mother that you mess with their child. Period. And she should serve maximum. I really feel like she deserves to get a higher sentence than that. But it probably is not going to be more than maybe third or second degree murder, homicide, possibly. Because first degree, that means that's an intricate plan. I believe is an intricate plan to murder her. Okay. I think this was at the last minute. I think it probably went through her head. And if it went through, that's still premeditated. Just for a second. If she went through her head for a second, I should shoot this bitch. Next time she comes to my house, I'm going to shoot her right through the door. I ain't even answering. Okay? So instead of picking up a phone, you picked up a gun. Now, you under the auntie, do you feel differently about gun laws? No, it still stands. Okay? Because she would have passed this woman who shot a, this Susan would have still been able to get a gun legally. Not because she's white, but I'm pretty sure she showed no mental illness. She didn't have no mental illness. She was probably an upstanding citizen, and she would have gotten the gun. So those laws would not have affected whether she got that gun or not. Okay. And then what I like about Comedy Hype commentary on the AJ is because what's his name? Mr. Pisces. DL Hughley always got something to say about this. Oh, we need to take that off the books. But she was a guest host, and the young lady said, I don't agree with that because there's going to be a time when we're going to need to use stand your ground laws, and it may work for us, and we need to protect ourselves. And now we're going to jail in droves because we cannot even possibly use the stand your ground law. Now, unfortunately, I did not go deep into my investigation, which I really would like to, when it comes to stand your ground and how white people tend to use it as opposed to when black people try to use it. There was, I'm gonna tell you what I believe in my heart. When black people try to use it, it's always something that they did something just that doesn't make it a stand your ground situation. Okay. Like the young lady, and I can't remember the name. If you happen to run across this, please forgive me for not knowing your name. She said that she mentioned, or it was mentioned on Comedy Hype when they was talking about the arrest of the woman and D.L. Hughes' opinion about it. Um, they used an example of how this woman was, I guess she was having a situation with her spouse, and she shot a warning shot, and she went to jail for like 6 years for shooting a warning shot. She tried to use the stand your ground law, and it didn't support it. Well, the stand your ground isn't for warning shots. And how did she do it? Did she do it up in the air? Did she do it in the ground? Okay. Did she try to shoot him and say, okay, the next one is going to hit you? Okay. So, I mean, there may be those small discrepancies, but I can say, as far as my opinion, as far as the stand your ground laws, they tend to not have as much discrepancies when it's a white person claiming stand your ground. Okay. They brought up Trayvon Martin, the difference between this one and her, and Trayvon Martin's situation and this one is Trayvon Martin did wrestle with whatever that dumbass was, whoever he was, Mr. Fake Cop acting behind. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was fighting back. So yes, the person who happened to have a gun, which was that dingo, and he happened to be a Latino, by the way, I believe. Um, Whatever his name, I don't even remember his name because it's not worth saying. But he he was able to use it because he was actually in a fight with the young man. Okay, that's the discrepancy. So he shot him to get him off of him. He could use that. Okay, but if you're in the distance, like that's the reason why I feel like she couldn't use the she couldn't use it because she was not in imminent danger. She was behind the door. But this is the other reason why she can't use it. As of 2017, in Florida, they changed the stand your ground law so that the burden of proof isn't on the person who shot, who was the one that was in fear, but it now puts it in the prosecution lap to prove to see if it comes out to be a stand your ground law. So she couldn't say, she can't shoot her, get an attorney and say, I was afraid for my life. Okay. Now, police, the reason why she wasn't arrested immediately because they did change the stand your ground law in 2017. So a lot of y'all ignorantly is calling for a change in the stand your ground law, and it's already been changed in Florida. Now, whoever the sheriff is, whoever, they have to investigate to see if this is a stand your ground situation. Okay. If it is not, that's when they go and get the person. Now, this kind of sucks. If Susan decided to run immediately afterwards, she could have possibly gotten away. But that only works if she planned it. She could have shot it, left, but it wasn't planned. This is good old fashioned case of murder. Okay. So that's how they think. And I think that that's excellent. So you, that person who shot you, can't say, "Oh, I was afraid for my life." No, let's now we're putting it in the hands of the prosecution. They have to do an investigation first to see if this is what it is, instead of letting the person who did the shooting say, "I was scared for my life." Okay, that's why. Okay, period, period. And in a clear case of, in this situation, because there was an argument, I mean, in certain things that you just, so things have already changed. I feel like that's a major thing. But we know the history here too. It could have been, I don't know what, what's his name, he's the sheriff of this Rolling Hills, Florida. I don't know, again, I didn't recall seeing him. I got enough information. I only went to one source, which was CBS News, which is replicable, replicable. Yeah, another. They got a good reputation for giving good news, okay, and giving full information and vetting their stuff. So CBS News is that's what the sheriff is, and he's like he did, of course, when they came out with the arrest and he spoke to, he said, he thanked the, just give us time. We have to do it. It's changed. We can't. That person, we have to investigate to see if this is a stand your ground situation or not. Because if it was a stand your ground situation and it was determined by the sheriff's office that this is a stand your ground, Susan would have never gotten arrested. Okay, this wasn't it, and it's clear. So that she can't even bring it up. Like I was afraid for my life, even when she was in court. She can't do it. This is not a stand your ground. You're gonna have to protect yourself. I mean, shooting her like she was gonna knock down your door. First of all, thank you for thinking that us black women is that strong. Like we Wonder Woman, because we are. But I, 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 I don't. I can't say it. Maybe we have been so pissed off with the adrenaline could rip a door off. I think anybody with that type of a mama and you mess with their kids, okay, yeah, you should have been afraid. You messed with a woman's kid. I don't care what race she was. You messed with a mother's kid. She could tear that whole building down with you in it. Yeah, you should have been afraid. I think she should have been afraid. Okay, but if she was afraid, she needs to call police, especially if she's secure behind a door. Okay, and unless you start seeing signs of that door coming off its hinges, you call 911. You white, they're gonna come immediately. Okay, so that's all I have for you. Check out the article on CBS News. Um, I'm pretty sure this is going to go on for a minute. Just keep note. Let's see if they can get more than manslaughter. I think they will, though, because she had other charges as well. I foresee her going to jail for a long time. 30 years is a long time for a 58-year-old white woman. 88, she's going to kill herself in jail. Ooh, ooh, I shouldn't have said that. Um, she's going to die in jail. 88, even white people don't normally live past that. 88 coming out to the real world at this time. I mean, if I got caught on something major like that, um, yeah, either I'm gonna get used to I'm gonna be institutionalized, or I'm gonna eat so horrible. I'm not gonna take blood pressure medication and pray for a stroke because I'm not. I just can't kill myself. I can't do that. That's not in my makeup. I would have to be severely drugged or and with a drug that has me hallucinating and say that tells me that I have to do it or whatever. I couldn't. Nah, I mean, me, I would probably be institutionalized, but heifer, I couldn't do. I mean, I don't know. If that happened to me, I've been in jail behind them steel doors one time, and that was just jail. It was not even prison. I heard prison is better, to be honest with you. I'm just saying that's a long time stay. It can't be horribly horrible. No, you can't. You don't have free, and you do have to get permission to do stuff. But if it's a little more freedom, you get a little more freedom. I heard allegedly, prison isn't as bad as jail. But child, the food was nasty. Okay, they just treat you like you just an animal in there. I can't do it. I can't do it. I just like just once it's just somebody, I'm gonna slap the biggest person and pray they stab me. I would do something crazy. I'd be caught trying to climb the gate and they shoot me dead. Okay. I wasn't trying to escape. I was trying to escape life. Okay. Anyway, that's all I have for you. I will see y'all on Monday for the morning chat. Y'all have a good one.